You're listening to Financial Advisor Marketing, the best show on the planet for financial advisors who want to get more clients without all the stress. You're about to get the real scoop on everything from lead generation to closing the deal. James is the founder of theadvisorcoach.com, where you can find an entire suite of products designed to help financial advisors grow their businesses more rapidly than ever before. Now, here is your host, James Pollard.
Welcome to Financial Advisor Marketing Podcast. I'm so glad to have you here listening to episode number 17, lucky number 17, one of my favorite numbers. And I'm coming to you live from the mean streets of the Deli, aka Delaware. Have you ever been to Delaware, Jonathan?
I've never heard of it called Deli, but I've probably passed through there a time or two.
Oh, pass through. Everyone says that. They're like, oh, I passed through Delaware and I had to pay a toll. Like, why does Delaware even charge a toll? Because no one stops here. And a lot of people hate on Delaware, but it's actually pretty cool. And the people who hate on it are from like freaking Nebraska or something like, or Iowa or whatever. I mean, it's the first state. I'm going to give a little education lesson here. It's the first state. It's extremely important in American history. I'm a little bit of a history buff, and Delaware's got some cool stuff. There's no sales tax here, which is nice.
Nice.
So when I travel, I don't travel through states because, I mean, Rhode Island and Delaware are practically the only states you could travel through, I guess, because they're so small. But when I go to other states, like we were going to North Carolina, and we were passing through Virginia, and we just stopped at the McDonald's. And I mean, if I have to eat McDonald's, I will. And we were like starving. So we went and got something and we expected it to be $1. But of course, sales tax added on. I'm like, wait, what? What is this? What is this? I'm not used to it. Delaware's got no sales tax. And people who've never been to Delaware, they talk about Rehoboth Beach. And it's a popular beach in Delaware. And they talk about how nice it is. And it's just a signal that they've never been to Delaware. And when I was a teenager, I used to work in Rehoboth Beach. And I've actually lived in both Upper Delaware and Lower Delaware. And I know saying that might sound weird, but anyone who's familiar with the state, they know that Upper Delaware and Lower Delaware are completely different. Lower Delaware is very laid back, very country, very rural, for lack of a better word. And Upper Delaware is like little Philadelphia, very urban, very liberal, very blue, and Lower Delaware is like red state and then blue state. And I mentioned that because I was thinking about it the other day, and I think it's actually trained me to have an open mind, where I've been in both environments. So I know how people act in the upper part. I know how people act in the lower part. I can see both points of view. And I think that's a special gift that Delaware has given me, Jonathan, where I can evaluate both sides of the situation. And I'm extremely thankful for that. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about in the podcast today. But another little housekeeping tip here. I actually got an email from someone asking how to join my email list. Because, I mean, in the podcast episodes, we talk about how I email financial advisors, or I got an email from somebody. And so I've gotten a few emails from people like, hey, how do I join your email list? Or like, please add me to your email list. So here's how to do it. If you want to join my email list, God help you, please go to theadvisorcoach.com/57. Those are two numbers, 57. It's not spelled out. It's just theadvisorcoach.com/57. And you will see an opt-in form giving away a free book, completely free PDF download called 57 Marketing Tips for Financial Advisors. And from there, you will get daily emails from me.
Daily?
Yes, daily. I do email every day. Do you have a problem with that, Jonathan?
I encourage it.
Yes. And whenever I mention that to like consulting clients and financial advisors who are interested in email marketing, I say, oh, why don't you email every day? And they're like, wait, daily? Whoa, isn't that too much? No, not if people are interested in it.
Not if you want to sell stuff.
Yeah. If you want to get appointments and get clients, I mean, no, it's not enough. I mean, one email every year is too much if it's not relevant and not important to your audience. So you got to look at that. And again, this is the Delaware thing. I'm looking at both sides. Maybe Upper Delaware is like email once a week, and Lower Delaware is email every day. So I look at the pros and cons of both. And some financial advisors, sure, if there's a special situation, maybe they'll be better off mailing once a week, I guess. But I've never seen a situation where daily, if it's super targeted to a niche or an occupation or a particular type of person, I've never seen it lose when compared to weekly mailings, ever. So take that for what you will. I do email daily. And sometimes I miss a day if it's like a holiday or if I forget. I mean, I
you even do the weekends, Saturday, Sunday?
Even on the weekends, even on sometimes twice on Sunday.
Oh, man.
So, and financial advisors, if you want to talk about that in a future podcast episode, we can talk about that. So just send me an email, james@theadvisorcoach.com, with all your questions and information and different things you want. I probably won't respond to you because I get a bunch of them, but just being transparent. But today we're going to talk about referrals. And the title of this podcast is Advisors, Please Stop Asking for Referrals This Way. And I know I went off on a tangent about Delaware and the email and stuff, but I do want to start this off with a little story. I was doing some work online in my social media accounts, like my LinkedIn and my Twitter and Facebook and stuff. And I'm usually not on there that much anymore, but I was doing some work and I saw an ad in Facebook for a supposed referral marketing expert. A lot of experts out there these days, Jonathan. Lots of experts.
In every dark corner of the internet.
They're peeking out and coming out of the woodwork. Lots of experts. And there are a few out there that are just fantastic. Like, for example, Jill Addison from the FA Client Machine with the video marketing. She's phenomenal. Like, she knows her stuff when it comes to video. And I've actually got something special in the works coming with her. And I guess you could say I know a little bit about referrals. A little bit, at least a little bit, figuring I wrote a book about it, an entire book about referral marketing. And anyway, I clicked on this guy's ad just to see what it's all about. You know, I'm curious. I fall to the marketing tactics too myself. And it was a video, and I heard a lot of aggressive put-ons and outdated sales tactics. And it turned me off because you don't have to twist someone's arm to get a referral. Yet these referral experts and gurus and wizards, I guess, whatever they call themselves unicorns, they continue to pump out the garbage. And I can't tell you how many times I've heard things like this. I got a little list here. We'll go through it. I got 3 things. They say things like this. They say, I get paid 2 ways. Like, what? Like, the insinuation there is that the advisor gets paid for doing work for the client, and they get paid for marketing, or they get paid through the fees that the client pays, and they get paid for referrals.
Sounds like they're going to charge you double.
Yeah, you get paid 2 ways. Well, wait. Well, what if I don't? What if I do provide you referrals? Well, what are you going to charge me in fees? Are you going to give me a discount? I mean, it's just not a good tactic to use. Then the next thing I hear is, I need your help to grow my business.
Womp, womp, womp.
Like, the clients don't
cares.
Yeah, they don't care. They don't hire you to help you build your business. It's unbelievable that people would even be so selfish. And so they have such an entitlement mentality that just because someone is a client of theirs, that they're going to help them build a business.
They should say, I can make your friends rich too.
Yeah, that's a pretty good line, I guess, if you want to go back to the old cheese factor there. And it just boggles my mind that people would even do that. And sure, if your clients refer business to you, great. That's a nice little side effect of doing business and doing good work, but it shouldn't be like the main objective, and you shouldn't come across like this. And then the third thing is probably the worst. And it's something like this. It's, I'd like you to list 3 names on this sheet of paper. The insinuation there is that you can refer to me. And then they say this. They say, we can brainstorm together. We're going to brainstorm these names.
It's creepy.
And, that actually was taught to me when I was in the financial services industry. The managing principal actually, like, literally, this is a true story, sat me down and told me, okay, we're going to tell you about our referral process and how we get referrals. What you want to do is you want to have your clients, or you want to take your clients, you want to approach them, and you basically want to say, give me 3 names of people you think I can help. And then from there, you get 3 names from the other people, and 3 names from the other people, and 3 names from the other people, and voila, you'll have a book of business. Well,
yeah, right.
If that worked, everyone would do it. But yet, all the new advisors, and especially since I launched the new product called Your First Year as a Financial Advisor, a lot of new financial advisors have been engaging with me and emailing me and stuff like that. And they say the same stuff. They said they came up to me and they said, hey, this is how you do referrals, or I'm a referral marketing expert. Listen to me. And I mean, get freaking real. If you think these strategies work with today's sophisticated clients and you're okay using them, hey, more power to you. Keep doing your thing, but it will probably fail. I mean, you can do whatever you want. At the end of the day, I'm just telling you what works and what doesn't. And based on experience and based on actual research and based on what works, I mean, I'm giving you the stuff. But if you want to continue to use those tactics, hey, do your thing. But if these phrases make you wince, or if you even have any sense that they don't work with today's modern clients, then you have to do something different. So now let's talk about some more ways financial advisors ask for referrals, the ways I wish they would stop using. We're going to continue down this track because they just don't work. So the first way is asking too soon. So success as a financial advisor, it's about building and maintaining a relationship. This is a relationship business, and asking for a referral too quickly can damage the relationship and leave a bad taste in your client's mouth.
Hey, financial advisors, are you ready to take your business to the next level and get more clients with less stress? I invite you to join the James Pollard Inner Circle, a paper and ink newsletter that gets delivered directly to your door every month. When you join now, you'll also get a 90-minute instant download called 5 Keys to Success for Financial Advisors, a $97 value for absolutely free. All you have to do is head over to theadvisorcoach.com/newsletter and join today.
How do you know what too quickly is, James?
So I'm going to give you the research-backed answer, and I'm going to give you the anecdotal answer. The research-backed answer is that it typically takes about 2 years for clients to feel comfortable on average. When I speak about the stats and stuff, I'm speaking in averages here. It takes about 2 years on average for clients to become comfortable giving a referral. The anecdotal evidence and story here is it's too soon when your client hasn't given you any clues or any indication that he or she is comfortable giving a referral, such as, wow, my other advisor never told me that, or thank you so much. I mean, they give you compliments, and they show you that they're impressed with the work that you've done. They're happy working with you. Those are all clues. And there are a bunch more referral clues, and I talk about that in 51 referral marketing tips, but that's just a little sampling of how you know when it's the right time to ask for a referral.
Makes sense.
Now, the next tactic, tip, or strategy, or whatever you want to call it, that I wish advisors would stop using when it comes to referrals, is asking for a referral on LinkedIn.
Oh,
yeah, and it's so tempting. And I love LinkedIn. I absolutely love it. It's one of the best business building tools I've ever had. It's amazing. But please don't ask for a referral through social media, because if you don't know someone well enough to call and have a real conversation, you don't know that person well enough to ask for a referral, period. This is common sense stuff. Common sense stuff, Jonathan.
James, come on. They're entitled to referrals because they're in business. So people should just give them.
Yeah, just because you're a LinkedIn connection with me means that you have to write down these 3 names on a piece of paper, and we'll brainstorm together.
With a gun to your head.
Give me these referrals. Or it goes, or we kill the Batman. The next mistake is not giving your clients enough time. And this is kind of related to the too soon thing. And a lot of financial advisors ask for referrals like this. They have a client meeting, the financial planning meeting or retirement planning meeting. They demonstrate some value. All good. We'll talk about value and the right and wrong way to do value later. And then they pop the question. And it's not good because it's just like a robotic transfer, and they turn into this robot. There's no real way to explain it. There's a financial advisor, and they're doing their thing and doing their job, and they're having a great time, and they're showing their expertise and demonstrating value, and then they just transition to this stiff robotic creature. And it happens a lot on webinars too, in the marketing and sales world. And this is when on a webinar people transition from providing value, I guess, if you want to call it that, to the close, which is where they sell. And a lot of times, if people are inexperienced with the webinars, you can tell that they're really uncomfortable and really nervous with the transition. And when it comes to referral marketing, simply popping the question like that, it's really difficult to make it work, because you're asking the client to go through his or her entire mental filing cabinet and then come up with a great referral in just a few seconds. I gave you an example of this in several podcast episodes ago. And even if you have a clear niche, asking this way still puts your clients in an uncomfortable position, because you're asking your clients to do something they aren't prepared to do. So your clients should actually expect to give you referrals. And when they expect to give you referrals, then your clients can never be unprepared for them. So what you want to do is you want to facilitate referrals rather than asking for them. And that's really the key when it comes to getting more referrals as a financial advisor, because you have to kind of train your clients to behave a certain way. And
how do you do that, James? Like, how can you actually get your clients in the mindset to expect to give you referrals?
It's all in the training. And some landlords will train their tenants not to call and not to do certain things. And if you have it in an agreement there, hey, do not call me unless it's an emergency, unless there's a fire or a water pipe burst, you're basically training them. And financial advisors have to do the same thing with their clients. And I explain how in my book, 51 Referral Marketing Tips for Financial Advisors, which you can find by Googling it or going to theadvisorcoach.com and clicking on the products tab. And because thanks to this podcast, you now know how not to ask. The give me 3 names things, but it doesn't work. The brainstorm thing doesn't work. The I get paid 2 ways thing doesn't work. Don't want to ask too soon. Don't want to ask through LinkedIn. I'm giving you all the ways that do not work. So if you want to experience the thrill of getting referrals without being pushy, without hurting your current relationships, and without seeming like a desperate beggar, make sure you get that material. And my only request is that when it changes your life for the better, please send a referral my way. And I want to kind of dig a little deeper into this whole expecting to give referrals things. So it's really like a culture shift more than anything else. And I'm about to give some serious value. It's everyone's obsessed with providing value these days.
Edit this out. Don't do
it. Value coming up. All aboard the value train. It really is more of a culture shift than anything else. And it comes from sharing stories about your other clients. And now you don't have to give away the personal details, whatever, and you absolutely should not, because it's not cool at all. But you're just sharing, like, you make people happy, the retirement parties, client appreciation events. So you start sharing details about your business. You mention some stories about how so-and-so referred another person, and that person is very happy and they're making progress. And you have case studies. I mean, you can't have testimonials as a financial advisor, at least not in the United States. You cannot have testimonials, cannot have endorsements, things like that. So be careful with your compliance and the rules here. But when you give off that vibe that you're building your business this way, that you're spreading the love, you're helping a bunch of people within a niche. If you work with nothing but dentists, then you say, oh, well, other dentists refer dentists to me, and you really set up that expectation, that it becomes a lot easier. And I'm actually doing the same exact thing with my podcast, because I train people not to seek information for free. I train people not to bother me with silly, stupid questions unless they're serious about investing in themselves in their careers. And I train them to listen to this podcast every single Monday. So businesses are training their customers and their clients and their prospects all the time. And this is one of the many ways that they do it. And you can do the same exact thing with referral marketing. And I don't want to give the whole thing away, but if you can understand what I'm saying here about training and creating that culture shift where your clients, even your prospects, it's a little hard to do it with your prospects, but if your clients truly expect to give you referrals because it's just part of the way that you do business and it's just a natural thing that people do when doing business with you, everything becomes easier. Now, to recap this podcast episode, and we're going to wrap it up here. I want you to be careful about whose advice you take. And hey, maybe you should be careful about taking my advice. I don't know. All I know is that the stuff I'm teaching, it's worked not only for me, but it's worked for countless financial advisors around the world. And if that's not good enough for you, hey, I don't know what to tell you. But be very careful about where you get your information, because if your go-to referral expert makes you uncomfortable or gives you techniques that seem like they came from a used car salesperson in their little manual, sales training manual, you want to run the other way. And I want you to take this advice to heart. So if my advice makes you uncomfortable, just don't do it or don't listen to me. I mean, you have your free will. So that's all I really have for this podcast, Jonathan. I hope it helps some advisors with their referral marketing. It's very valuable information in my humble, biased opinion.
What do you have coming up next time?
So the next episode is going to be really good because I'm going to dive into some specific phrases financial advisors should never use. And I know in this episode, I had a few generalities and I was pretty vague about the referral thing, but in the next episode, I'm going to be very specific. And when you listen to the next episode, I want you to go through your marketing and I want you to eliminate all of these phrases I mentioned, every single one. And if you do that, you'll almost certainly get more clients.
Wow. Big promises. So another financial advisor marketing is in the can. We will be back in your earbuds next Monday.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.